So this is it. This is all there is. There's nothing else. There's just this. And this is not what you can say to yourself, like when there's something is happening, it's like, oh, but that's just this. That's that's something else as this message. That's a way of trying to deal with what is said here and trying to deal with things that are happening in your life and maybe not so nice, because most of the time you say it when it's not so nice. It's it's only when there's a meeting like this, it's saying it's this, because it's impossible to say what it is. It's everything. So it's the moving of the hand. It's a rope. It's a table. It's feelings. It's everything. But there's no one inside. So it's not towards someone. It's not that everything is happening to you or is happening around you. That's the misunderstanding. There's no one. So there's everything happening and there's no one. So it's no one happening to. So that's very simple. And in the same time, it's very complicated. It seems very complicated because we are so used that we are there and we have to look for something to live our lives. What is the best way? That's what's happening all the time in the mind or in thinking. And hearing a message or going to a teacher or anywhere, trying to live your life better or have a more quiet life or more peace or more happiness, more love. When there's me, there's always a subtle feeling of it's not enough. There's something missing. There's something not right. There's something that's going on. And then there's a search, there's a drive, and it's an embodied drive. So it's energetic. It's not in the mind. It can be in the mind, but it's not only in the mind. It's energetic. So it goes towards anything you think that will help you, or what's the best way, or do eating healthy food, or trying to work hard to have more money, or anything, because we are used to logic. And logic is that we are able, with our free will and choice, to make life work. And it doesn't work always. And then it seems like, oh, I didn't do enough. What did I do wrong? And the whole time is going on like that. There's nothing wrong. The only thing there is that there's no one. There's no one doing anything. It's life. It's energetic. It's going that way. And when there's me thinks it's the center and it wants to feel good about himself or herself, feel good about her life, his life. Life isn't interested in us. Life doesn't see anyone. There is no one. There's just what's happening, and it's an appearance. Nothing is real. And then when there's me, and I'm here, and this is my life, and things are going on, and it seems that everything is solid and real. And there's time, there's a past, there's a future. We have to do something to get a better future. We have a free will and choice, and that's the whole thing together. There, it feels like a lot of problems and a lot of work going on, and it's a never-ending story. And in the end, it never works the way you thought it would be. Sometimes it does, sometimes, most of the times it doesn't. And some people seem more successful, other people less. There's no justice. It seems like there's justice. There has to be justice. It has to be justice. There has to be responsibility. All those words are from the me wanting to feel good about himself, and then wanting other people, want it sees that there are also other people who are able to decide that there's this doing this or doing that. And if they don't do the right thing for you, that you feel good, they're doing something wrong. So they don't take responsibility or all those stories. So when there are relations, when there's me going on and there's another person, there's always a story about this is not good enough. And needs. It's about needs. Love, personal love, it's about needs and taking care. And there are a lot of agendas in that. And you have to discover what the agendas are. And then there's hearing this message. There's no one. There's no one doing anything. There's already no one. There's even no need to look for no one. Because that's what we think. Oh, it's about no one. So now we have to look for no me anymore. I have still a me. And how can I look? How can I get rid of my me? There is already no me. So you don't have to do that. This is the most easy message. In a way, it could be said that it's lazy, but it has nothing to do with lazy because there's no one. So it's not about doing or not doing. It's about loss. Loss. And the loss is energetic. So it's not that you do it. There can be concepts and beliefs that can be lost. And then suddenly it's like, oh, there was such a belief in some things, and suddenly it's not there anymore. Sometimes it's very strong and it stays longer. You can't do anything about it. But it's not wrong. Nothing is wrong. That's what also with me comes. There's good and there's bad. There's right and there's wrong. The whole story of me is about right and wrong. It's a misunderstanding. There's no right or wrong. There's what is. It's very simple and very, how do you say that? It's very neutral. No one is doing anything. It's just what is happening, what's apparently happening, because nothing is real. It's an appearance of energy going in a certain way. And it seems like events and stories and lives happening. There's no time. There's also no time. It's a construct. It doesn't mean that when there's that everything is lost, then there's the time doesn't work anymore or things like that. They're starting at 7, so planning can happen, can be forgotten also. I don't that you would never know, but planning can happen. So it's not that time is completely lost. It's apparently there. It's still apparent. It's not that there's nothing. Everything, it's nothing. There's nothing happening, and in the same time, there's everything, and it's an appearance. So there's everything. It's not saying there's nothing going on. There's everything. There's seeing tables and feelings, but it's empty in the same time. It's crazy to hear because we're so that everything is it's full and solid and real. And then there's hearing this message, and maybe some things are ringing bells, or maybe it's like, oh, I can't understand. The funny thing is also, you don't need to understand this. This is just a talking about what's going on, and it comes out like this. And maybe when there are questions, there are other things said. It doesn't matter because it's energetic. You don't need to hear it or listen very well. Just it just comes, and listening can happen. And maybe there's trying to listen very well and it isn't heard. You can't do nothing about that. Even there's an opening or there's no opening, there's no one who can do something about it. It's energetic. It's life. It has nothing to do with you. So there's nothing going on like you do your best or you do the right thing or things like that. You can't do it wrong. Everything what is done is the right thing. It's what's happening. The talking, the asking, the sitting, tables, everything. That's the joy. That's the unconditional love that nothing is excluded and there's no right and wrong. So we can talk about that. And you can ask anything what you want. Also, questions in the story or say nothing. It's also whatever happens, happens. That's it. There can be when they're saying there's nothing wrong and there's finding it. There's a lot of what we normally do. We look at the world. There's an awareness. There's something going on. Like there's something looking to yourself. There's something looking to other people, to the world. And I find something, I have an opinion, or I find that's right. This is awful. This is right. I don't like that. This is nice. There's always going something about that. Or it's about yourself. Now I feel. Do I feel good? There's always looking at yourself, or looking at the world, or looking at persons, and thinking about what's going on. What is your opinion about that? What do you find about it? What you feel about it? Everything is going on about that. It's an endless story about what you finding or what your feelings are. It's endless, and there can be an opinion. There can be some seems like something wrong. It's what's happening, and it doesn't mean that when somebody's saying something and then you say, "Oh, that's right or wrong." There's it's not like it's not saying to somebody when they're talking and people tell a story and then I say, oh, but there's nothing is wrong. That's something else. When people tell me a story, then there's just a reaction and I don't know what's happening, but there's not saying this message. That's something else. That's talking in this meeting. It's completely something else than just sharing with somebody, or a friend or a teacher or somebody else. It's just a reaction, and it can be like, oh, or anything. But it's not saying all the time, oh, but nothing is wrong. And people say something and, oh, but nothing is wrong. No, that's awful. That's a new concept. That's nothing to do with that. It's energetic. It's energetic that there's underneath, there's nothing wrong or right. And it's not saying all the time that everything is all right. That's completely missing the point. It has nothing to do with that. And stories are just stories. They come and go. So
Hi, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
Rose, do you mean in this that actually everything is, but not a person, not me?
Now everything is what it is.
Yes,
It's
but
it's,
in
it's
that what it is, there is no me.
there's no person inside. No, there's no one. It's
No.
all. You could say everything is one. So there's no dividing, like separation, like I'm here and you are here, or you are there, something like that. It's one.
Yes, that as nothing, I do understood that. I understand what you say. You as you, I don't talk you as you, but you as nothing. So there is no relation because you are already that relation.
No, there is no. It's not that I'm already that relation. There are no relations because there's no one. So
No,
there's no
I
one.
don't talk about
Yeah.
the you as you, but
No, but nobody. It's not only here. It's everywhere. There are no relations. Never. But we
yes.
are so convinced that there's someone and there are relations. So that's not even like I am convinced, but it's like assuming that it's like that.
Yeah, I mean, then as you said, as this message said that everything is nothing
Hmm.
and nothing is everything.
Yeah.
So when nothing is everything, so in that case will be not relation because it's already that,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that like that? You
Yeah,
mean?
but also in this, there seems to be there seems to be stories going on, like between people, and like I'm living my life, things like that. But there's also saying in that there's a belief that there's someone, and then people can take care of me or have to take care of me, or well, there's no one. There's already no one. Not only here. It never has been like that.
But how is your relation, this body's relation with your husband, you with your children, or
No, no. There's no Rose. There's there's no Rose. There are no children. And the body is just this part. What you see now is that's it. That's everything. And there's no behind. So there's no you assume we assume there's a back. No, there isn't. The
you
body
know
is
where?
it's an appearance. So what is seen is there, but it's not a real thing that's always there.
You know, I did talk when I talk with Jim. I asked him that why everything is free, you know, just free as they are, you know, but
Mm,
not the me. And then
mm,
he said, "You are also free," and it will be it's confusing. He said that you are not, and then you said you are free. So
mm.
what I
But
couldn't understand this
no.
statement.
But when I don't really understand, but when there's someone, then it doesn't feel free because there's something missing, there's something not right, there's something going on. There's looking for freedom or peace or happiness, I think, silence. Because it feels like there's a separation, but it's because the mind can abstract. So it's in the abstraction, there's the separation. It's not real, but we are so living in abstractions and believing that everything is like that, and
But
it's creating like that, and it
yes, but
seems so convincing that there's a
yes, but
separate.
you said that there is no we, and
No,
then all
that's
at the
in the
same time
story. There seems to be
I in
me.
the story. Yeah,
I talk about people or someone in the story when there's living your life, then there's me going on. But it's not really me, but it's so convincing that you are there, or not you only, but for people. It's so convincing. It's not even questions. So it goes on. And then there's hearing this, and then most people turn away. And then some people are like, oh, what's going on here? Know me? What is that? Already know me? That's even more strange because we can work on things that we are used to, but there's already know me. What is that? So
Yeah,
that's,
but I mean, even logically, even mentally, you can
yeah,
say the hand is not mine, the seeing is not mine, the
yeah,
feeling is not mine. It is
mm,
just feeling and just seeing.
yeah,
But the problem is this, that where I come in, because the eyes is not mine, the seeing is not mine,
yeah,
the feeling is not mine, and the
mm, mm,
touching is not mine.
mm,
That which make me very much. I do understand. I have nothing about
mm,
this message, but just I ask.
mm,
Living mentally, there is nothing which I can call it as mine.
yeah, yeah,
Even the concept is not mine.
mm,
The concept is someone else's concept, and then I just
yeah,
repeat the same thing.
yeah,
It's just there is a repetition of something,
yeah. But
some
it's an
idea.
understanding. It's just an understanding.
Yes,
And it can be very clear, but it is just very superficial. And then everything that's embodied and that belief that is so embodied, it has nothing to do with understanding. There can be an understanding and still everything goes on the same way because it's so embodied, and there's still that longing for something. And then maybe they're on top of that, they're saying something about this, saying like things like this message, or it's what it is, or something like that. But underneath there's still something going on.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's what we're talking about, because that's the energetic part. And
yeah,
we
yeah.
can't do something about it. And we try because understanding can is very attractive to understand and think like, oh, that makes it more in control and understanding. But in the same time, it's not, it's just it's nothing, because that feeling of dissatisfaction or not feeling connected, or some everybody is different, and or not free, is still there, and it's can be subtle or some more, or in certain different situations, and the search is going on. So it's not the understanding is no answer.
But this, when I say this, I say this intuitively,
Mm,
intuitively, that
yeah,
the seeing is not mine because
mm,
it's obvious, like it's something like obvious. The seeing is not my seeing.
yeah,
The, the feeling is not my feeling.
yeah,
I say this just intuitively.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all. That's
yeah.
all. I'm not liberated or
But it's
something like that.
intellectual. It's an
Interaction, yes.
intellectual, how do you say that, vision, or understanding, or intuition. And
Yeah,
it's what's going on. It's about eating cheese. It's much more without any knowing. It's without any knowing this.
yeah.
It's eating cheese. It's walking. It's feeling feelings. I don't know what. It's coming and then suddenly it's going. I don't care about is it mine or is it not mine. There's nothing going on about that. It's
Mm,
just feelings, and that's it. And it can be woof, very strong, or very or very laughter, or not anything, just normal.
yeah.
But it has nothing to do with knowing. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on and why and how it is. I don't know. Don't need to know.
Mm. You cannot even say what this is
No. But you
because
don't need to. Why should you know
yeah,
what's going on? It's a
yeah,
flower. It's eating cheese. It's walking. It's what is there to know? And
yeah,
that's what people now do. They try to understand it and say, no, this is it, and what you're saying. And that's a lot of people are doing that. But there's no answer. And that's awful, because we want answers. We want to have something in hand. And this giving really nothing. There's
nothing.
nothing in your hand. Oh
Yes,
my God. Yeah. We're not used to that.
That is the beauty of this, because it is nothing, you know.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you had,
it
yeah,
is. Because
yeah,
it's just that. And it doesn't matter what it is.
yeah,
Come on, it doesn't matter what it is. That's crazy because we have so much like this is better than that, and I don't want this, and it doesn't matter because
yeah,
it's everything, and it doesn't
yeah,
mean that you're all like all the time, like, oh yeah, I like this. Oh, I like. No, of course not. But it's like little children. It's like,
yeah,
look at little children. There's so much. That's the aliveness, I guess. There's so much aliveness, and that's what it's about. Don't little children don't say this is what it is. No, of course not. They are not busy with that.
yeah,
They are not able, and that's the difference, to abstract everything. And when there's the brain is more sophisticated, like 2 years or something like that, then that's starting. And then we are so into that, abstracting everything and look at it and saying this is better than that, or I don't want this, or do your best, or now whatever behavior. It's endless. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hmm. There's a question. I don't understand how there's no center or subject there. Moment come, moment go, but we're always here. No, I'm sorry, we're not. There's already no one. So there, when it's talking about this by Rose, there's no Rose. We are so convinced that this body is real. This is always there. It's not. It's an appearance, and it's apparently there. It's seen, but it's when they're seeing the front, that's it. We are so used to abstract and fill in that everything is still there, so that's safe. And that goes on. Then it fills in and it fills in that the whole body is there and it goes on. Everything is filled in by the abstract thoughts of images like that. So it seems like the body is always there. It isn't. There's no Rose. There's also people think about maybe like, oh, how does she live her life? So there's no living her life. It's just this and then something else. It's complete this or that, and that's not special. It's the same as everyone, but it's the only thing what's lost is that there's something going on about it. That's lost. There's no one looking at it anymore. So there's no awareness, you could say. When there's no center, when there's no me, me seems to be the center of the person. There's no there's no center. There's seeing a body, see the front of the body. That's it. That it's very literally. We're not used to that. We used to fill in everything, and we know that when you look outside, there will be a street there. I don't know, but we are so convinced. And you go outside and you see the street. So, of course, it's there. It was always there. No, it wasn't. And then we are so into that. And then this message is there, and they're saying something about, oh, it's an appearance, it's energy, and it changes, and it's all the time changes. And it seems it's a complete mystery how it's made and how the brains of people can abstract everything with that and think about things and themes like everything is real and worlds are there and amazing abstracting. And then there's this message and saying, yeah, but it's an appearance, it's not real, it's just this, and that's nothing is happening. And in the same time, it's apparently everything. So it's an appearance, not everything. This also seeing tables and everything. It's not that there's different views or so. That's the same. So nothing is real. It's apparently real. It's not that it's not real. It's apparently real. So it's not solid. And because we are so convinced that it's solid, then the experience will be that it's solid. when that's not that strong anymore, the strange thing is that it's suddenly like, oh my God, yeah, it's it's an appearance, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to know that or to understand or to believe that. That's just nothing. But hearing that, that's making that belief or that really like strong, like everything is solid and that maybe there's something going on there. I don't know. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Strange to hear it. Maybe. Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Can you say something about the relative and the absolute is one?
Oh my God. The relative and the absolute. I'm not so into that. What is relative and what is, oh, no, that is not my thing. It's so abstract. Mm,
Yeah, then it's not. Yes.
just leave it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Good to see you.
Okay, another question. Hello, Rose. What remains when sense of me drops? It's just an apparent body naturally functioning. um, Everything is the same and it's not different as anybody else. The only difference is that there's nothing going on about uh, how to do it or what shall I do or all those questions, they don't arise anymore. And it's difficult to say because there's nothing changing. It's what is happening. It's it's going on. So that was before and that was after that. So in that sense, there's nothing changing. The only thing what is lost is that that awareness, that looking at yourself and thinking about this is right and what shall I do and how can I do this and da, da, da. It isn't arising. It just isn't arising. And it's also very obvious that everything is an appearance. And not saying that to yourself like, oh, but that's an appearance or things like that. No, that's when there's talking about in this message that's saying like that. But when there's normal walking down in the city, there's nothing going on about this is an appearance. No thinking about that. Just it's just lived like that. And the strange thing is that when it's obvious and yeah, it's very obvious that's not only in the mind, it's embodied, it's something, it's lived, that there's no, that everything is an appearance, then there's the freedom. But it's not in the understanding. That's just something else. When everything is lost and it's yeah, you could say embodied, but it's also strange because then people say there's nobody. So it's difficult to tell how that works. When whereas there's something, an insight, there can be an insight about something you do. The insight doesn't change anything because it's just seen how it is, and then that doesn't change anything. But just to explain, then it goes down. I don't know how to say it differently. And it's just after a while, it can be embodied and it's not thinking about it anymore. But then when it's embodied, it's living in it, it's living that inside. And that's a bit the same as this. It's living that. And there's also the freedom. It's just living like that. And there's also nothing going on about right and wrong. That's just lost. I can't see right and wrong anymore. It's just, I understand what people say about right and wrong, of course. The mind and the brain still work. But it's an opinion. It's like, yeah, but it's, yeah. And you can't explain it to people because it will not work. It doesn't happen also. The strange thing is, it's living in love. Life is love. It's living in love. It's unconditional love. And it's everything. So there's no difference between this or that. And we are the only thing what people do is like, oh, this is not good for me. I don't feel good. I don't want this. Oh, this is awful. Oh, I should do that. Oh, this is it's all the time thing like that. When that's lost, that's possible. That's lost, then it's just what's happening. And it doesn't mean everything is nice. That's something else. There can be pain or sadness, of course. But there's no preference. No, not even a preference in that sense. When there's just sadness. So there's nothing going on about is it nice or oh so awful. No, it's just I don't know, it's just sadness. And that's what me does. Always something, adding something extra, although it seems like, oh, it's good, it's bad, it's nice, it's making it something else. And then the whole story starts and the problem starting. It's already natural. Everything is already natural. Only it's not natural for someone. So it doesn't mean it's I'm fluid, and when I'm swimming very naturally. It's just now made. It's the Rose way of swimming, and that can be awful. It can no, not awful, but it can like. It's just that. There's no natural in that way. Like that seems a bit like oh, that's beautiful. No, it's not about beautiful at all. At all. It's everything. It's just what it is. That's so simple, and we're not used to just what it is. It's so quickly something else added to it. That's what this is about. It's not wrong when that's done. That's so quick and that's energetic. It has nothing to do with wrong. It's what's happening. Ah, do we have spiritual powers? No, we don't. I don't see spiritual powers. I There can be a belief that some powers are spiritual, of course, and that there seems to be powers and that's spiritual, and we talk about that. It's not wrong. It's just a way of thinking. It's a belief. I don't see spiritual powers. There's only what is. There's nothing spiritual in this message. It's much more simple. It's very simple. It's what it is. That's what can be said all the time. What It doesn't work like that, but it's that. I mean, natural as other animals, organic. Yeah, everything is natural. It doesn't matter what it is. It's There can be an abstract mind that's, yeah, natural is, I don't like the word natural because that's better than not natural, something like that. So I don't use that word. There can be some behavior and there can be a lot of abstract thinking. Then that's what humans do. That's the problem of humans, that there are a lot of abstractions about how to live our lives. Animals don't do that, can't do that. So there's the freedom. There's the freedom. That what's going on in bodies moving and things like that. That's just what goes on. That's energetic moving. And there's that abstract thing, mind and thoughts about that. That's the dream of me. That's something added onto it, which seems very important. It's a dream. And that's what the abstract mind does. There's a lot of questions and how to do this and why and that, and trying to find answers and going to meetings or other people trying to find answers and going here to this meeting trying to find answers. And there are no answers. There are no answers. So that whole structure, trying to get answers and trying to solve and trying to deal and to isn't feeded. So it falls a bit apart because when that whole construct isn't feeded, isn't energized, it just falls apart. That's what can happen in these meetings. Not knowing what to say anymore. It's persistent. It's very persistent. It's very strong. It's so embodied, so strong. Yeah. It's a survivor. That whole system is a survivor system, and me on top of that, that will help you survive. Yeah. Wow, it's very convincing. It's like you can do it. All those words. Or maybe you can't. Oh, it's an endless struggle. It's walking. It's that already. It's already that. It's already walking. It's already sitting. It's already scratching the head. It's moving by itself. So it's going to a shop. It's getting money into your hand. It's if it's your hand or not your hand, it doesn't matter to know that. It's just oh money or something like that. It's just that. But it seems like oh my god, it's too simple. That can't be that. I have to. And then it starts again because it's so threatening. Also, it seems like a freedom and a joy, but it's also a threat because everything is lost. There's no hold, not knowing like like how or why. Hmm. But it's just not frightening. It's not life is not frightening. Can be fear, of course. There can be sometimes fear. Or longer. Oh, here. Hi, Rose. Why the dream of or the illusion is so convincing and powerful for me. Yeah, there's such a deep feeling of there's something missing, there's something not right, but I have to make it right. And that's not only in the mind, it's so embodied, that's so strong, that's lived. And there seems to be me that gives a feeling of like I can do it or a free will and choice to do the right thing and do things there. Free will and choice is so convincing. Time, everything is so convincing and so real, seems so real. Circumstances seem so real and solid. And then there's something missing, something I have to do. I have to do the right thing. This is better than that. Oh, I don't feel so good tonight. What shall I do? It's endless, and that goes on. And there's something going on, and thoughts are coming, and it seems like they help or they guide. It's just thoughts. Can yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's thoughts I don't know if they help. It's just thoughts coming and can come from everywhere. It's not your thoughts even, so it's coming from everywhere. It's just thoughts coming and sometimes it's crazy, sometimes it seems like, oh, yeah, that's free. Woo, like that. It can be anything. But we take it so serious. It's so important. Information is so important. Knowing seems so important to survive in this world. We see it as a world. There's no world. Where's the world? It's filled in the gaps. Everything, all the gaps are filled in, and we make it like seeing it like one world. There's no one world. It's a dream. It's crazy. This message is crazy, and it's the freedom itself too. So there's a longing for this because there's a recognition somewhere there, oh, that freedom and that joy and something. But at the same time, well, this world, how can we live in this world? It seems so real and convincing. But the main thing is there seems to be someone, and that someone that has that's that separation, that when there seems to be someone, there's a separation, like I'm here and you are there. And that's the abstracting, that we can abstract that there's somebody else and there's someone inside. There's no one. There is no one inside. There's no center. There's no one doing anything. Thoughts are not doing anything. It's done. It's just happening by itself, energetic, not for you or for somebody else. It's just by that. It's not about us. It's not about me or you. Yeah, that's the joy. You can't say to yourself, "Oh, it's not about me, so that's all right." No, that's just a concept. That's the awful thing of this message. It's not like a belief or understanding. This is something else. It's energetic. And sometimes some beliefs fall away that seem so important, and sometimes it's like, how could I believe that? How could I be so convinced that that was true? And I can't see the value of it anymore so much. That's can happen. That what happened here, that a lot of things fell away, and then suddenly there was nothing left. All the knowing, I had a lot of knowing. I was a good teacher. I had a lot of people around me, like, because I was a good teacher and I could talk a lot. I could talk very well with that knowing. And then that knowing fell away. I didn't like that at that moment. Well, in the end, it was also a relief, strange enough. It's mind blowing that even that uncomfortable tension of lack knowing is nothing and everything. There can be a tension or yeah, there can be a tension or something like something in the back or that. Well, yeah, that can happen. But yeah, and then we go and then we think, oh, what is that? Oh, what is happening there? What did I do? Oh, what can I do? Oh, what should it be? What is it? Oh my God, it's just immediately there's so much fill in a story with it and trying to solve it, or oh, that's so awful that I have or something like that. It's just a tension and it comes and goes. It's not even in the body, it's somewhere. It's not even yours. Also, it's amazing. It's so strong and we have to do something about it. That's also very, very much embodied. You can't say to yourself, I won't do that anymore. That's just a concept. It's nice and it works for an hour and then it's going again, of course. Yeah. Do you still have knowing? Like, could you talk about a topic for a long time? No, I don't know. No. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Doesn't, people don't ask me. People don't ask me. Oh God, no. No, I don't think so. It doesn't, yeah, but it's about arising. It has nothing to do with me. Sometimes when people ask me, and then suddenly that's like this, it suddenly comes like this. Normally, I don't talk at all about this. During that whole week, there's no talking about this. Maybe a bit with my husband, but then that's it. And then there's a question here, and whoop, everything's going. I don't know. That's how it goes. It has nothing to do with knowing. It's energetic. There's no knowing. There can be a knowing, like I read it in the papers, and then I say to Sometimes I do that. I read it in the paper and then said, yeah, today it will be a very sunny day. And then I talk about what I read in the paper. Yeah, that's my knowing. What else do I know? And then somebody said, no, what I read is that and that. Then, okay, yeah, okay, then that's something else. So then the conversation is already finished. Yeah, that's the knowing. What is the knowing? Like from the paper or from the television, from a book? Can be there, but it can be there. But so what? It's not wrong. It's not right. It's can be nice to talk about something, but yeah, just like that. Oh, Ileana, I have to go now. Oh, she wants Hele to leave this beautiful session. Thank you and everyone. Bye. Okay. The knowing can be there, but it's like the table, drinking coffee. Nothing more special. Do people sometimes notice something odd about you? Yeah, but yeah, yeah, of course. But yeah, normally my husband. But normally it's no, it's not noticed most of the time. No, but there's nothing saying about it. That's not coming. It's not talking about it. No. Mm, maybe sometimes. Sometimes I have sometimes that people feel it that there's something like, oh, there's something else going on. But can be felt like that. Maybe that's for everyone. I don't know. Can a thought influence anything in life? No, thoughts don't have any influence. We are so convinced that our thoughts make our lives work, or when I think, and it's good to think about that, positive thoughts. No, it's just thoughts. It's energy, like drinking coffee or moving your hand or tables. Nothing has any power. It seems like it's willpower. There's willpower also, something like that. When I try hard enough and think a lot, and it's about me. It's always about me doing things or thinking like very strong or have certain thoughts and don't have negative thoughts anymore. Or we are so obsessed. Me is so obsessed with trying to do the right thing, and it's about me. For example, for that's the most important thing. It's about me. I want to feel good. What can I do about that to feel good all the time? That's what me is, if in the end. And then there are all kind of words around it that makes it softer and seems like, oh, she's so beautiful and she's so, and then the whole world is going on. It's an endless game about nothing because there's no influence, there's no me, there's no story, there's just what is. That's it. Very simple, very tiny, not very special, very normal. That's it. It's very simple life. It's not even life. It's no, it's like yeah. Hmm. Don't try to imagine it because it's impossible. We try to imagine how it would be and how it should be, how it could be. You can't. You never will. Of course not. We don't need to. You don't need to. that what's happening is already happening. So why thinking about it? And the most beautiful of this message, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. A lot of thinking, trying to do your best and really convinced that it will help, then that's what's happening. It's not wrong, of course not. It's just what's happening. That's the beauty. And then feeling like, oh my God, and then there's a feeling of, oh, discomfort, and then that's what's happening. And that's it. You could say it's the beauty, but it's the beauty in that in that. That's in unconditional love too. It's everything. But who's the one that is going? There's no one is going. There's no one. And then try to figure it out. I can say to it, don't try to figure it out. But when that happens, of course that can happen because it doesn't stop. So like when they're saying that it stops, when it go on, then that's energetic. It's not you doing that. It's not wrong. It's energetic. It goes on. Of course. Doesn't then that's what's happening. That's life. It's everything. It's everything. Yeah, the session is 1 hour and a half. Yeah, that's amazing. There's nothing wrong. That's huge. That's huge. I like the word everything. It's like absolute freedom. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Nothing is excluded. That's the longing. That's the longing.
Rose, who is longing?
There is only longing. It's
Ah,
not for someone. That there can be a feeling of longing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But and one thing, you know, here I often think about the childhood when I was.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's sometimes when I think about that childhood,
Mm.
it, I really remember now when I think that everything was, I did like very much the pigeons, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
And I had this picture is still that there was just the pigeons, but not me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
And,
so.
and, and that I miss very much.
Yeah. That's what little children are not so aware of themselves. Sometimes they are, of course.
Yeah.
But a lot of time that's still then that's not that strong yet. So there's a lot of times it's just there. It's just being and pigeons and yeah.
And also, for I don't know. I think I said this. It was just a. I don't know. It's a story or whatever it is. I was
Mm,
in kitchen. I just. I don't know. For a second, I don't know the time.
mm,
That everything was very soft.
mm, mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking, I'm just maybe
Mm.
I'm not very well or
Ah,
something like that. But
ah. Can be like that, a moment that nothing is there and then that
and
whole
also,
being
if you
there.
know about Sufi mystics, his name was Rumi. You know about
Mm.
Rumi.
Oh, yeah.
Rumi. He write a poem, very much poems,
Okay.
poem.
Yeah.
In his, I do, I did like a lot. I did like or I like still. I did like before I come to this message. I did
Mm.
listen to this poems very much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In his poem, he mentioned that it's childlike,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
childlike.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
said he said that
Yeah.
when I asked him, he said it's gone as a child,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
this message, which now is this message, or you or Tony,
Yeah.
but they target something. There is some target,
Somewhat?
a target, a goal.
No, there's no
That
goal.
not
No, I
not
have no goal.
goal, not I cannot not goal like you have a goal, but this message, how some it feels that it's target childhood. There
Yeah.
might this childhood, I know, because
Yeah.
behind this body mind is also innocence,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
innocent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, no one is guilty,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah. That's how
Uh,
I see it. Yeah.
that's the beauty of this message.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I found out that this message it says that there is nothing which is guilty. No one is
Mm.
guilty.
No. That's
Uh,
amazing. No one is
yeah,
guilty. That's such a thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you want to blame it, that who is guilty, then you have to be the life which is guilty, no one else, because there is no one.
Yeah. But it's not about guilty because that's the way the me talks about this is guilt and this is better, this is good, it is not good. It's about guilt and responsibility that it's awful. There is
Yeah,
no guilt. That's the dream. That's in the me dream talking
yeah.
about that.
So
No.
no one is guilty. It's beautiful, really.
No. Yeah. Yeah, sure. There's only innocence.
Yeah.
Only innocence. That's also the freedom.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Mm. When the me falls, is there less energy or more energy? No, there's nothing of that. It's what here, what's going on is that there was a lot of thinking about myself and that, and then suddenly that stopped. Could say that. It's very ordinary. It's not a special thing. And it was in the same time very obvious that there's something not there. I even couldn't say. And then after a while, it wasn't even that clear anymore because in that moment it was very clear that everything was gone. But after a while, it was not a knowing, so it was not sure. So I didn't know if it's really was the me not there anymore, something like that. So there's not a sign like, oh, there's now much more energy, or that there's nothing going. That has to do with this. That's sometimes there's more energy, sometimes there's less energy, without any reason. I don't know why. It can happen. There can be ill and being like that, and there can be suddenly more energy. That's how it goes. Has nothing to do with no me or me. There's already no me. So it's life. It's life. Going nowhere. Sometimes more energy, yeah? And so what? Then it's more energy. Yeah, it's going nowhere. It's just more energy. That's it. Yeah, and that's it. We think it has a reason. Oh, we can do a lot of things. Then the story starts again. No, that doesn't happen. So there can be more energy or something else. Do you still get triggers? Get triggers? No, there are no triggers. No, that's me. Me is that's thinking about yourself. That's lost. When there's something going on, then there's thinking like, oh, I did it a lot, thinking about triggers. Well, I can't even remember how it went. it's that's also I can't remember. So no, there's nothing going on about triggers. There's what's happening. There can be pain in the chest. Yeah, that's it. And sometimes it's going to the doctor or not, or it's what it is. Doesn't mean there's saying to yourself, oh, there's pain. It's just pain. No, that's a way of dealing with what's going on. There's no way of dealing with anything. That's lost. There's no one. There's nothing going on about that. That so you can't imagine how that's like. And sometimes suddenly everything stops, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's like, oh, but it's so simple. Yeah, it is. It's so simple and ordinary. But when we're talking about it, it seems like something God special. It's not. Yeah. I know emotional triggers, but it can be emotions. It can be emotions, no, but for no reason. There's no reason for an emotion. There's no time. And it's not saying to yourself that, well, it's just lost that time thinking. It can be time, but it's not something anymore. So it's not thinking, oh, there's sadness. Oh, where's the sadness coming from? Oh, that's because of, I don't know. That's lost. That doesn't come up anymore. And it doesn't need anything. It's that comes up and it goes after a while by itself. Very easy. Life is so easy. But it is. It is. It's not saying but it's not a way of doing something with it, but it's seeing that whole thing, that living my life, it can be so complicated, and it's just a dream. It's just what's going on already. No one doing that. It's already what's going on, exactly how it is. It can't be better, it can't be worse. It's exactly how it is. That's it. Yeah. I'm joking. But when a loved one says to you, I love you, you respond, there is no one here, or lie to him. No, no, I don't know what I will say. There's not say that that isn't. There's not saying to someone, when somebody is saying to me in a conversation, "Oh, but there's no one here." That's not happening. No, that's the non-dualistic talking. It's something else. It's not there. When there's saying a loved one saying "I love you," maybe there's an answer. Maybe they are saying thank you. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. It's the same. Is there is there a connection between me and you, or here and there when we talk? No, there's no connection. No, there's no me and you. There's just what talking. There can be talking here. There can be writing things. There's not talking to anyone. Oh, there's just talking. There's no agenda. It just comes out. I don't know. It just comes out like that. It's energetic. When there's a question in a certain way, it's energetic. The answer comes like that. In a different way, there's a different answer. I don't know. And I forget. I already forget. I don't know what is said. It's forgotten already. I can feel your heart. Oh, God. I don't have a heart. Uh, but thanks. Mm. And forget about the words. Forget about what is said. It doesn't matter. It's underneath. It's the energy. It's energetic. And it works by itself. It goes like that. And
Hi,
that's
Rose.
also still, oh, sorry, go on, go on.
Hi, Rose. And it was simply to say hello.
Hi, hello, hi.
So happy
Oh, yeah.
to say your words.
Hmm. Okay, thank you.
So heartful.
Okay, thanks.
So much. So good to remind
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah. It's so different as the normal way. What
Yeah.
thinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a little bit like in a core, so tiny
Yeah.
world, and there is such a big shell or something around
Ah. Uh-huh.
to penetrate through. It's wonderful you do it. Thank
Oh, thank you. Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Much love.
Yeah, thanks. Much love. Mm. And they can be talking like anything. They can saying I'm hungry or I love you or I don't like that. It's just normal talking. This is not a non-dual way of living. That's awful. I wouldn't like that. It's just then the whole time you're busy to be non-dual or something like that. No, there's nothing being busy with anything. That's the joy. That's the freedom. It's the freedom is that there's nothing going on about this is right or wrong, that there's no one looking at you and thinking like, oh, should I do this? Or looking at the mirror and think, oh God, today this is an awful day. Something like that. That's just not coming. That's the freedom. There's no someone walking behind or next to you saying all the time what's going on and what you have to do or not have to do. That's just what's going on. And it's just talking and saying anything. And it's like the same as everywhere. But the only thing what me is then on top of that, is that all dream about what's better than it, and I should have done it. Oh, what is this? And how you gonna that's the dream on top of that. That's what lost. The rest, that what's going on during the day and things like that, it's the same. It's like that. It's just nothing different than other people or things that goes on. That's just energetic. And it goes on in a certain way. I don't know why or how. It's just going. It's the same. So it's already there. It's already what's happening. There's no better way. There's no wrong way. It's just exactly what's going on. And when there's a lot of thoughts, then a lot of thoughts are happening. It's not your thoughts, it's just energy goes on without any meaning. It just goes on. Drinking coffee, there's no difference. So there's looking at the computer, there's hearing words, forgetting everything, or hearing it still in your head, or your head. I can say your head. Yeah, I can say that. I know it's not your head, but just they're still saying, yeah, it's your head. So it's just normal talking. Because otherwise it should be, it's not the freedom. It's just what comes out. And it's the joy of life. And joy doesn't mean it's always happy. Joy is aliveness. It's alive and it's everything. It's everything. It's the computer, it's the hands moving, the breath, the cupboard. And it's watching television. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you, Rose.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.